The night air was still. The Sea of Galilee shimmered like glass beneath a sky of silver light. The disciples had fallen asleep by the fire, their weary bodies resting after a long day of ministry. But Jesus was awake. He often prayed in the quiet hours, young when the world hushed enough for heaven to whisper. Tonight was different, though. There was something in his eyes, a longing, a deep tenderness that reached far beyond the stars. He stepped away from the camp and climbed a small hill overlooking the water. Above him, the moon hung full and bright, bathing the earth in gentle white. The waves rolled softly as if they too were listening. And then, he spoke. "Beautiful light," Jesus said softly, gazing up. "You were hung in the sky to rule the night, to remind the weary that even in darkness there is still light." The moon seemed to glow brighter, almost alive, as if heaven itself was answering back. Jesus continued, "You reflect the sun's light just as my children will reflect mine. When the world turns cold and shadows grow long, they will shine because I have shone upon them." He paused, his face illuminated by the silver glow. "But soon," he whispered, "the world will see me dimmed, like an eclipse. They'll think the light is gone. But even then I will rise again, and my light will never fade." A soft wind brushed through the olive trees. The branches swayed gently as if bowing in reverence. Suddenly, a cloud drifted across the sky, covering the moon. The night grew darker. Jesus looked toward the heavens and smiled, a knowing, sorrowful smile. "Yes," he murmured, "the darkness will come. Betrayal, pain, the cross. But just as the moon returns, so will I. And when I do, the world will never walk in darkness again." He fell to his knees, eyes closed, heart lifted toward his Father. The silence of the night was filled with the faint rustle of waves, the soft whisper of eternity. When the cloud finally passed, the moon shone again, brighter than before. It was as if creation itself rejoiced at the promise spoken into the night. Jesus rose and looked toward the water, the reflection of the moon dancing beside his own. The symbolism was divine. Two lights, one eternal, one borrowed, yet perfectly united in purpose. He turned back toward his sleeping friends. Soon they would wake to the dawn, unaware of what heaven had heard that night, unaware that the same Jesus who calmed storms and healed the broken had just spoken hope into the moonlight, a promise that would outlast time itself. The next morning, the disciples awoke to find him by the shore, smiling gently as the sun broke over the horizon. None of them knew what had been spoken beneath that moon, but every time they saw it rise in the nights that followed his resurrection, they remembered and believed, because even the moon knew the light of the world would never be extinguished.